Hey guys, how's it going? Well, as you can see this time around, I'm in a much better mood. I want to apologize for my expletive-filled outburst on the last video. I was just not having a good day, and so a little O-ring is all it took to set me off. And I apologize again about that. Sometimes I just have bad days, and there's nothing that makes you feel better than to just use a string of profanities during that thing. But anyway, let's move on from that. So what's going on is we're in round 2 of this cheap Uncle Phil mower repair, and so I'm going to turn my attention to this deck. And this is a 42-inch deck. This is called, I think, a Type G mower deck, and as you've seen before, it's got some issues going on. It's got a couple spindles that not only do they make noise, but they one of them is kind of like held on by one bolt and all that. And so I thought I'd just go through this. I'm going to disassemble this deck. I'm going to pull the spindles off and go ahead and go through it, clean it up, grind down some of the surface rust that's going on, because that tends to kill decks. See if I can get this dent out of the front of it, where people have been hitting things with it. So I sent off to Amazon and ordered some belts. This is one of them. I don't know which one this is. I ordered all 3. You got a deck belt, and then you got a belt that goes from the crankshaft of the engine to the variator area, and then one that goes from the variator to the transaxle. So I ordered all 3 of those. They're in bad shape. And last time around, you saw what set me off was this deal with this carburetor kit. So I went back to the well on this, and this time around I ordered a Nike Master overhaul kit. You can see her number there. Sorry for the wind. So it's got all the plastic pieces and float and seals, and there's our little bastard of an O-ring that came up missing. Got another belt in there, and I ordered myself a better set of feeler gauges since I lost my last pair. And this is the kind that's good enough that's got the sizes engraved in it, and the other one did not. It had printed on it, and it wore right off. And then I actually bought the Plymouth here. The wind's really blowing. New window crank. How about that? And then I think in this one down below, down here, this is the one that should have the kit that I got to repair this deck. So it should have some spindles and blades and a deck belt in it. Yeah, there's your spindles. MTD. Hope it's the right one. There's 2 blades. So I'm going to work on this thing and see where we get with this, and update you about a couple things in here. First off, somebody asked me what happened to the O-ring that was on the little main jet. Well, in my ignorance, what I've been known to do many times is I took the thing off before I picked it off and raked it off and let it fall on the floor in the garbage can before I checked to see if I had one. It didn't have one. So that's what happened to that. That's why I didn't have another one. And I'm going to have to go to the junkyard and get another one of these rocker arm nuts that has the adjuster in it, because I deduced what happened is somebody tried to adjust the rocker arms and they couldn't understand that it had an adjuster, a little adjuster bolt in the end of it that had to be loosened, so they just cranked on it and snapped the thing off. So it could have been much worse. It could have snapped the stud off in the head or stripped it or something like that. So I think my route tomorrow, I've got to go run around and punch tag orders for stores up here in Tennessee tomorrow, so I think that's going to get me in the area of the junkyard at the end of the day, and I'll run by there and get that. So that's what's going on, guys. I'm going to work on this deck, and after that I'll start on that carburetor, and we'll see where all we can get with that, and hopefully by this weekend we will have this thing up and running again. came out of that one with it. That doesn't make any difference. And I guess you could probably replace these bearings, I'm sure. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's okay then. Let me go. Choking man. Looks like a 1.5. Let's put it right back. This was the last bolt holding this other one in. A little washer action going on it. It's supposed to be a bolt head with a shoulder on it. Yeah. You know, people do this stuff and they say, oh, I'm saving myself money. I just use this bolt instead of the right correct one. I'm saving money. Still needs a brake on it or something. It broke off. Very good. What else happened? What happened to the other? Broke off. Off. Hey, one didn't break. I got one left I can use as a one to give me the guideline to get new ones. How about that? Now I end up losing that. Not this time. Oh no. Oh no. So anyway, here we go. Oil leaking out of it, John. Now, old Carl Alley is going to remind me that you can rebuild these, and I probably would have done that. To be honest with you, I just didn't feel like it this time around. But I know now I see how to do it easily. So, in the future we're going to do that. So I'm going to get my trashed out parts cleared off here and all that, and I'm going to use my grinder and I'm going to clean up this mower deck now. Okay, here we go. So what I did on the bottom of this deck is cleaned it up a little bit, not much, and used the remainder of a can of fluid film on this and gave it a coating, and so hopefully when I use it, it stirs up grass and dust and dirt and all that junk. It'll stick to this and sort of do what it needs to do, which of course we know is form a protective barrier. And then on the upper side of it, I didn't do much with that except I just ground down the rust and put some primer on it and used a perfectly matching shade of orange red there, haha, and got to where it was scuba on a bunch of paint where it was trying to rust. So anyway, that'll hopefully bite a year or two, and then at that point we'll go from there. It's official. So anyway, hi guys, well, I'm gonna wander back in here to the surgery center and get going on this carburetor and everything else, and get going putting this thing back together again. Well, there it be, the source of my frustration. I'll put my finger here for scale. You can see how tiny that is. And it retains this jet in there. So all that for that. But at least I got spares now. I got the kit, the master kit. Once again, there's that part number. So don't bother ordering any other kind of kit. If you need to fix one of these things, just go ahead and get that one. Because you never know when you're going to make a mistake like I did. You reckon it's been a while since this oil filter's been off? Yep. Nope. I can want my own with this one. My rocker arm. Thank you. Yeah. Because of Uncle Phil. Okay, round two with the oil filter with another kind of wrench finally. Lovely. There you go. See, this is why it's vitally important to change your oil filter at least every 10 years, whether it needs it or not. Because when you don't change them the whole entire time you have the mower, then they tend to get stuck. So this mower dumps oil all over the frame no matter what you do. You drain it out the plug, it goes all over the frame. Take the oil filter off, it goes all over the frame. Yeah. Got the right one. I guess it shouldn't come as any surprise that the filter, well, I guess not. I guess it was an optical illusion. I was got to run off the mouth and say that the old filter was larger than the new one, but it's not. So, same as that filter. Except this one's new and this one's however old it is. I don't know. You tell me, it looks like an old original filter to me. Alright, so I'm gonna change that and then move forward. Alright guys, well it's another pretty nice day today, and boy we had a pretty good thunderstorm last night about 5:45 in the morning, but it's cleared up and all that. So anyway, I've got this old mower put back together as far as all the engine and stuff goes. So I went through the carburetor and did that. I replaced the broken rocker arm adjustment nut and put the muffler on it and changed the plug, changed the oil filter, changed the oil, flushed the gas out of it, put the correct fuel line and hose connections and clamps rather, and the shut off and the filter back on it. So it's got fresh gas in it now. Got my jumper pack on it because that battery's kind of weak. So let's go ahead and give this thing a shot and see if it's going to run any better this time. Now, how about that? run perfectly now. That's good. It's really good for all that work I had to do to it, so that's good. And so now what's left to do on it is going to be, I'm going to put the hood and everything back on it. I've got to fix the wiring harness for the lights. Picked up one, but it's not the right one, so I'm going to have to change the plug on this and get that back together and all that. And reassemble, like I said, reassemble the hood, and then I'm going to turn my attention back to this deck over here, because I forgot I got to go get some. Good Lord, got to go get some bolts for these things this evening or today one. So got all about that. So anyway, I'll get cracking putting this thing back together, and we'll get it back on the mower, and that's it. We'll see how she does. All right then, I'm going to start putting this deck back together, and went up and got some hardware to use on these spindles, grade 8 stuff, because these are, the way this originally worked is when they put these together, they went in with these self tappers from the bottom, and it just tapped the threads and everything, and then that's why they broke off, because not only did they do it that way, but they you know, two dissimilar metals and they corrode together, so it's kind of a given that they're going to break when they come back out. So. But anyway, that notwithstanding, we can go ahead and put these back in this way. God, it sounds like that idiot with a canyon or the Colorado. He's up here now. So anyway, I'm gonna put this together and blades and everything back on, and hopefully get this rig back in there soon. put these back together. Put this brake piece on here. Make sure you have the little tab that's on here stuck in this hole right here. You don't bend it. No dogs, thank you, no dogs. No damn dogs. And I guarantee you, somewhere in that neighborhood close to that old house, there's a dog barking right this very second. Just standing there. Woof, woof, woof. I'm not worried anymore. Thank God. I thought I was missing something off this deck because the other ones I look at, whoops, sorry for that. I've seen so many of them had the idler pulleys and all that, but I think this one's just a cheapie. It doesn't have any of that. Just pulleys. It's fine by me. It's the less that I gotta deal with. Stepping on that cord. Out of here. Tell you guys, there's one thing I hate in this world, which I don't hate hardly anything, but if it were to be something I hated, it'd have to be inanimate objects that try, even though they're not capable of it, they seem like they try to interfere with your work. You know, that's like bolts that fall on the ground, or stuff that falls back off, or something falls, or something moves, or something blows away. You know, it's like so how can an inanimate piece of nothing have an agenda? It sure seems like it. All right then, so what's that hitting under there? Ding. Look and make sure everything's copacetic here. Yeah. And make sure you put your blades on the right way. The cutting edge has to be faced up on these. Faced up towards the deck. And if you got part numbers, or sometimes you have just like grass side on this, these things, make sure they're pointed down. Okay, so let's turn this thing around. Last thing I gotta work on is I got a grass chute to put on here because it's not very safe to be running this thing without a grass cutter. I'll say this much, that was a productive trip with that lawnmower junkyard. It does fit, so that's good. By trouble, I mean it gave me some trouble trying to push down on this. Stop. Hold the flap. Hey, there we go. I lost one. That's good here. Okay, anyway, I'll spare you the boredom of that. I'm going to get this thing finished up and I'm going to stick it on there and put the new belt on and we'll see if it'll actually operate. Hear music over there. That nearest house is like a quarter-mile over there, so if I can hear it over there, they got it cranked. Alright, so the Uncle Phil mower made it all the way around the backyard and everything. It survived that, so I'll do the rest of it tomorrow. So anyway, I reckon if I get a year out of this thing, then that'll be worth it. But it seems to be running good and mowing good. It mows evenly. I'm glad to see that. The last one didn't. So I've put the seat back on, the seat cushion back on, and I got some adhesive, some of that trim adhesive under the bottom of it. And then I just took some Gorilla Tape and I fixed the back of it back in place. Letting that battery thing stay there so it'll weigh it down and hopefully form a bond there. So I think the last thing I'm going to do to this is I'm going to replace this drive belt down here. As you can see, it is in bad shape. I can't believe it's actually still working, but I've got one of those for it. I ordered one, and I actually got the one that goes between that one there that goes up forward to the crank, but it seems to be in good shape, so I'm just going to leave it as a spare wherever it's at. And it's got to have a battery. This battery's shot, and I guess I ruined my other battery. I'm going to try to, I don't think I might put that on the charger and just see if it'll come back, but it didn't act like it was going to. But alright, well, would I do this again? I don't know. I bought this for 125 clams, and I guess I'll put about $25 worth of junkyard parts on it and about $100 worth of new parts, including 2 new spindles and 2 blades and some belts. Maybe about probably about $150 worth of new parts. Those are the most expensive, but various little bits and pieces for the engine. So I don't know, what, $375 in it, is that right? $275, $275. Yeah, I guess it's worth it. It's a lot of work. I could be doing something else, but that's okay. I think I'm done with it now. I'm going to use it, and if it dies, then we'll just give it back to Phil. We'll fix it. See you guys. Thanks for watching.